Hi there. You have found Messy in the Middle with Jeannie, and I am Jeannie, and I decided that I should do a video about who I am and why I decided to start the channel, just in a more in-depth way. I usually give a small introduction with each one of my videos, so that if somebody comes in and hasn't seen any of them yet, they kind of know where I'm coming from and who I am. I am messy in the middle. I am middle-aged. I am nearly 50. I am middle class, and I live in Middle America. We live in Northern Colorado, and I decided to go ahead and start doing videos because I know that in my life there have been a number of times when I really wished that I felt comfortable in the knowledge that somebody knew what I was going through. And there's a lot of times in people's lives, especially women, as you are getting older and you are raising your children and you have a husband or not, or a wife or whatever, you're in a situation where you maybe don't always feel understood. And so I thought that I would go ahead and share some of the experiences that I've had. I do give kind of an overview about who I am in one of the videos. It's one of the first videos that I recorded. And I then have multiple videos going over different individual experiences one by one so that I can go a little more in depth. I desire to keep all of my videos somewhere in the 30-minute range so that I'm not taking your whole day, because if you are anywhere close to being in the middle, you don't have that kind of time in your life, more than about 30 minutes in a day, or even in a week, to watch someone else talk about their life. So I'm trying to keep it brief and also give some information and hopefully maybe some insight into some of these experiences that I've had. There have been a number of times when I have told someone about an experience that I had, and because they know more about my history, they have said to me, "Girl, you should write a book." So the problem with that is that I desire to be very real when I tell a story. I tell it to the best of my memory, which sometimes escapes me, but I will say that I tend to be very real about what is happening. And although your own experiences are very difficult to not bring emotion into and personal feelings into, I do try to remain as neutral as possible in a situation and try to be, like I said, very real as possible. Because of that, I don't think that writing a book is a good idea. I know that when you write a book, you go through, especially when it's kind of an autobiography, you go through editor after editor, and there's multiple hands in the pot, and by the end of it, it's such a watered down version of what you initially wrote that you can't really give the world what you intended to from the beginning. Because of that, I decided that I needed something that was more authentic. And this is my attempt at that. My videos will be unedited and unfiltered. I am not a videographer, and I am barely a photographer. So on my phone is about as good as it gets. So there will be times when the lighting will not be right, and the background will be weird. It took me like, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes to figure out where I was going to sit to do this video, because I don't feel comfortable just talking in front of a camera, and I certainly don't want you to have to stare at a background that is ridiculous. Most of my videos will encompass me doing some sort of task because, as you have noticed, I'm sure already, I talk with my hands. I like to have my hands busy, and when I don't know what to do with my hands, they just kind of flail about. So I will encompass some sort of task into most of my videos. If you're interested in getting tips or tricks or anything about what I'm actually doing, the task I'm performing while I'm doing the video, please just comment. I'm happy to answer, and I'm happy to send you a recipe, or I'm happy to send you, information about the items I'm using, anything. I try to share that as I go through, but if I forget, please remind me, because I'm happy to give you the information. Also, if there's anything that I'm talking about that you maybe want more information about, or you feel like you would feel more like you had a more thorough explanation if I were to talk about something a little bit more, or if I were to talk to you directly, I'm happy to do that. Message me. I'm happy to talk to people about what the different experiences that I've had. And so that in a nutshell is why I'm here. And I guess not even in a nutshell, that's a pretty long explanation of why I'm here. So sorry for that. But I desire to be authentic. I desire to be relatable. I desire to be comfortable, someplace that people feel like they can go when they are feeling stressed or kind of at a loss, and wishing that they could find somebody who could understand where they are. So here I am. And like I said, if you have questions, or you feel like you need more information, there's very little that I share that I'm not willing to expand on. There will be some things that I'll tell you that I'm not going to discuss. I feel like there have been some instances in my life that there have been other people involved, and sometimes I don't feel like it's appropriate to discuss those situations at length. I will either allude to a situation, or I will give a brief overview of a situation, but I feel like it would be incredibly, unclassy of me to get on the internet and start putting other people on blast about what they did or didn't do, or what my perspective was about a situation that may or may not have been that at the time, from another person's perspective. So, but I will be very clear about that, and I will say that's not something that I'm going to talk about. So if you then were to put a comment or a question out about it, I would answer in the same way. I would say that's not something that I intend to talk about. So there's that. So I do a lot of crafts. I like to cook. I love plants. You see this behind me. This is Becky with the good hair. And I have lots of plants, and we have 6 children and between us. I've been married twice, and clearly divorced once. So I will talk about a little bit about that and how that was for me and for my kids. I will try to avoid putting too much information about my ex-husband, just because that's not fair to him. And though we are not on speaking terms, I still think that would be unclassy of me to put that in here. So any real in-depth information about anything, or any of my super deep feelings about that, I think that's not okay. So that kind of gives you an indicator of where I'm at. We live in, as I said, northern Colorado. I grew up in Fort Collins. My husband grew up in Loveland, and we lived in Loveland. We lived in Wellington for a few years. We lived in Loveland for about a decade, and now we live in Severance, and it's lovely here. We're really proud to be from Colorado. We might not always stay here, or we don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. We are empty nesters, so that's another thing I'll talk about. We have 2 children in the military, and so that is something I will talk about. I was in the military myself, and my ex-husband was in the military, so I will talk about that and what it's like to be a military wife and those kinds of things. And I have some opinions about how things go with that, and some things that I understand and don't about the way people approach that. But everything that you will hear, we have pets. We live in kind of a rural community, but we used to live right in the middle of town. We are, there's just all of these different facets of what my life has been, and where the different experiences that I've had with all of that. Our middle son passed 2 years ago. He had a really long medical history starting when he was right about 2, and he is no longer with us, as I said, and so I will talk about some of that journey and how those experiences went for me. We have pets. I had chickens. We've done a lot of I like to garden. There's just been a lot of different things that I feel like might be of interest to somebody who's maybe in that same place right now. Learning how to raise chickens is not the easiest task. And so if you are interested in learning how to raise chickens, I can maybe offer in some ideas of some things that I learned as I was doing that, and also some of that experience as well. So there's just a lot of little things that I think I might be able to connect with people on. And so if you are interested in watching, I would love to have an audience. If not, it's also kind of therapeutic for me to do my videos. And I think that I've been a business owner, which is where this comes from. I believe in things growing organically and not being forced. So I am happy to be on here and to just share what I've been through, what experiences I've had, the things that I've been through, and, like I said, hopefully help somebody feel like they can connect with another human. There's so much disconnect in our world, and I feel like even when you are connected, there's so much in the way of filters and a lack of authenticity that it's hard to know what to trust. And it's hard to know, it's just hard. Our world is really hard to live in right now. And I just kind of would hope to be a light for someone. And so that's why I'm here. If you have any questions or you want to know about Becky, I don't know, go ahead and leave a message in the comments. Of course, YouTube works on the whole like and subscribe thing. I probably am not going to ask people to like and subscribe because I feel like everybody knows that's the deal. And if you want to like and subscribe, you will. So that's not something that I'm really probably going to bring up in my videos. And so as we're going along, if a person is asking me why I'm not asking that, this is the reason why. I desire for any kind of audience that I may gain to be authentic and organic, and I don't necessarily feel like I want or need to ask for people to join. I feel like if it speaks to them, they will, and if not, they won't. So I hope everybody's having a really great day, and I think I'm gonna really love this. I'm kind of excited. I go live on November 1st, and so if you're seeing this, it's after November 1st of 2024. And I'm just really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to reaching out and connecting with people. And I just hope, like I said, everybody's having a really great day. Take care of yourselves.